those Google accounts I sent you, and just set up one of those Google Voice numbers with a 573 area code, because I think that probably does have an effect.
Yeah, it has to. It has to have an effect. So I'm gonna do that today. Once we get off here, I'm gonna start calling when we're off of here, and yeah, I'm pretty depressed. I haven't talked to anybody. I wish I would talk to somebody and they would hang up on me and tell me to go screw myself. I'd feel better, but I got to get through to the people first, you know. But is this what you find too, Adam, or do people pick up when you call, like when you were doing it?
We usually get pickups when we were calling these leads more frequently. When I had agents in here doing that, these guys were setting appointments left and right. So
yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to change my number and I'm going to keep calling because I'm calling these people a couple of times, and I didn't start leaving messages, but I stopped as soon as, so I only left 2 messages, but okay.
Well, and the reason why, I mean, I'm sure you're aware, the reason why we don't leave voice messages, especially right up front, is then people know, people are really good at disqualifying themselves, and coming up with reasons not to call you back. They don't want to talk to salespeople or a customer service person or anybody. So they're gonna, if they get the voicemail, they go, well, make sure we never pick up this number again, So we usually do it. We try to call 6 to 8 times. I do have actual voicemail scripts. If you've called each person 6 to 8 times, and at that end of that time, if you're still getting a voicemail, then there's specific voicemails you can leave on there. But I would definitely, the key here, I think, and before we get into some of this, is get your guys' Google Voice number set up. I wanted to see how it play out because I didn't know if it was necessary, but it sounds like it probably is. So go ahead and get that set up, and if you have issues with that, let me know. I mean, I can hop in the account and set it up for you as well, but maybe there's a number that you would prefer to try and have. But make sure it has the 573 area code. That's going to be key. So it looks like, let me pull this up here real quick. I'm going to share my screen over. So on Mike's here, we had a total of 14 leads here. It's pretty even, I think, across the board. And then Jared's, we had 12.
Well, I have 12 too because that lady Deb doesn't want me calling. I remember you told me, and I think one of the leads is you, so it's probably 1212.
Hey Adam, I didn't get anything to that Google Mail account you set up, or any notification of any kind that anyone had hit my ad yet.
Let me see. This one would have been yours, notifications. I mean, I've got it set up here. ISA2@Gmail. That's your cell phone number, right?
608-772-3988. Yep.
What do you have, an AT&T iPhone?
Yeah.
Maybe just try that. I don't think that would matter because they didn't have the Android option on here. Mike, were you getting those to your phone as well?
No, I just checked my email.
Okay.
I'm getting.
Well, I have it pulled up like on my Gmail on my iPad right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's nothing. I've gotten 0 emails of any kind.
Let's see here. Let me see that again.
It'll zoom it in there.
Okay.
It just shows the welcome email, but I didn't get any notifications of anybody hitting the ad. And when I went to your page, I couldn't even find the ad for my house. I didn't know if it was like just a hidden sponsored ad or if you posted it right on your page. So yeah, I haven't gotten any hits from anything.
I wonder what the hell, why that's not going through. Because Mike, you're getting them, right?
I got them. I got you. I think. Let me see how many. Yeah, 14. One of them's you. One of them's Deb, who I can't call back, 12. And I have 5 uncalled. I called 7. I have 5 uncalled because they came in. One came in 1:53 this morning. One came in 7:54 this morning. And the other 3 came in later last night. So, yeah, I got them. I'm calling everybody.
Okay. So let me just. That is so weird, man.
It's very weird that he's not getting them.
I mean, I know I hit save here, otherwise it wouldn't be.
Jared, you check spam, right? Mine don't go to spam, but you check your spam, right?
They shouldn't be there, but.
Yeah, no, they were not on mine. But you know, Google's nuts. You never know.
Let's see.
I went under spam, all mail, everything. There's nothing in that mailbox at the adamstarkisa2@gmail.com. I noticed when you posted my email in the on the Facebook page, Gmail had 2 L's in it because I copy and pasted it and it wouldn't work. So I don't know if you have 2 L's in it on the form where it's forwarding these leads to.
Let's find out. Maybe that was the case. I think I just copied and pasted. You might be right, my friend. Yes. Yes, you are correct. And that would be why. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. While we were on these deals, I'm just going to...
I'm setting up my voice while you're talking, so while you're doing this.
No problem. I'm actually just going to email all these over to you right now, okay?
Okay.
So that's, unfortunately, I can't do like a big bulk email, so I have to send one of these individually. So just bear with me for a second here. And these ads should be done running sometime today. We might get a few more leads. I didn't put a whole lot of money behind it. We wanted to kind of get a few in, get some test runs going.
Please enter your 2-digit verification code. Thank you. Your account is now active. To record your name and voicemail greeting, press 1, or you may hang up and do it later.
Oh, it's just Google calling me. Choose your number. Area, zip code, or city. 573, right? You said 573.
Okay. So I just emailed all those over to you.
Okay.
So you should have them. Okay, so here's, I apologize. I didn't realize those weren't coming through. That was my mistake. Nonetheless, they've all come in over the last couple of days, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. Just go ahead and call them, even though it wasn't right away.
Yeah, I just got them all now, so sweet.
Okay.
And do you have the MLS sheet on that? Because the one that you had posted, for some reason, on the inside sales page.
That's so weird, man, because it's the exact same link that I sent out in the emails. 1 second here.
Just so I have a little more information on it.
Sure. 1 second here. I'll tell you what. This might be the easiest way to do it. I'm going to send you this link in a message, Jared.
Okay.
Fill it out with your information. Because then it'll send you the actual email. And then you can open the link and you can see it in there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, if you just fill out the form as though it was you're the lead or whatever, then it'll make sure your email's in there. It'll come to your email and you can open up the link in there and see what it is. It's always the first link is going to be the link on the property itself.
Okay.
So looks like we may have lost Mike. Sorry. So I know that same thing that he just kind of did. I would go into your account, that Gmail account, set up a Google Voice number with area code 573.
573.
Now, the key with that is you have to call from your computer or your iPad or wherever else. Let me show you. I'll share my screen again so you can kind of see what that looks like because I have a Google Voice line as well. I don't know. I think you can pull it up in the Gmail. Oops. In the Gmail account.
Yeah, I was good. I kind of started Googling that the other day because I was thinking the same thing as I kind of jumped out. I was having trouble getting on, but you know, a lot of people don't answer, you know, out of state area codes, so or out of area codes. So it might be a big benefit to have, you know, have a Jefferson City area code.
Yep. And then so what you can do once you set that up, that way it's, you know, it's domestic here. I mean, if I wanted to call myself right now, I say 573-2. So it's inside of the Gmail. Once you get it set up, Hangout conversations. Once you get it set up, you can just click on this little phone deal down here. And I could literally just call that. And then it says it's calling me over here. Hangouts needs a Google plugin to make calls. Wait a second. I don't know that that's it. 1 second here. It's been a while since I've actually called anyone from these lines, so bear with me.
That's fine.
Google Voice. Google.com voice. All right. So if you get it set up, then you just go to your google.com/voice, and you can get it, you know, all that stuff set up. Now here, if I want to make a call, this is where I would do, I think, 573. It's calling me, but this is actually, it's I guess you can't really see it right now, but if I turn this on, so it's ringing now.
Okay.
But that's how you would do it, right? You just come in here and you can get it. Like what number do you want to call with, etc. So you can set up. I mean, play around with that, but you can set up again. You know, this is the number that I got: 573-427-7791. My cell phone number is 230-7791. So I just set it up the way that looked pretty damn similar to that. But you know, you can set whatever number you want on there. Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, I'll set that up right after we get done here.
Okay, and you know, if you mess with it, there's like a voicemail that you have to put on there. I mean, if there's an option to do that. I mean, as far as voicemail goes, what I would probably do is just do something along the lines of, "Hey, Jared here with the, you know, Adam Star customer care, Adam Star Home Buyers Advantage customer care line. Please leave your message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible." You know, whatever, something along those lines, right? If you have to set up a voicemail. Or if you don't even want to do that, if you want to say, "Hey, Adam, I can set up the voicemail. Will you do that for me? I can go in." I think there's a way to do that. But I don't know. It's been so long, man. I've had this Google line set up for like 3 years, so I honestly don't remember what it took.
Okay.
It's just what I put on all my signs and stuff, because you can have it ring to 5 different phones at one time. So that way, whoever picks it up first, type of thing, gets the call.
Well, that's nice. So it's not always calling you directly all the time.
Yeah. So at least in that way, if I'm busy, someone else can pick up and all that. So, I mean, I guess the other thing I want to cover here today, because obviously there's a lot of calls to make. This isn't in any way, you know, an attempt to put you down, but have you practiced on those scripts any further?
Yeah, I have been practicing.
Okay.
I rewatched the entire Google Voice Hangout and got a lot of information. And it was, I'm sorry, I didn't realize my kids were cutting in so often. They were like fighting and they wouldn't sit still. And I'm just like, I'm trying to concentrate here, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I totally get it. That's not a big deal. And I only say that because, I mean, listen, I know this is new, especially even if you've made sales calls before. These are new conversations. Main thing is just to be yourself. Be relaxed. Be yourself, right? I'm not looking for you to come in and hardcore close anybody. I probably need to talk with Mike about that, because I know he likes to get himself pretty excited. I think that's that one lady. I mean, so the lady emailed me right away. It was like, I don't want to be called. So, you know, but that's the one I think he left a voicemail from. So main part of this is we're on these calls, like I said, to help people. We want to find out as much. Number one, did you get the information, right? And then number two, the reason why I would say something along the lines of, if they say, "Well, I'm not sure," whatever. If they say, "Yeah, we got it," say, "Okay, cool. Have you had a chance to kind of look through any of the information inside of that email? Did you get a chance to look at the property that we sent you? Right? Did you have any specific questions about that property?" If they start asking certain things, Just saying again, understand that this is customer care. So what we can do is we can take note of your questions, and we'll make sure that we have prompt follow-up, answering all of the specific questions in detail. But just want to make sure, did you have any questions? Something like that, because I realize you're going to have the sheet there. I mean, if they want to know the price or they want to know bedrooms, bathroom square footage, I mean, always have that stuff pulled up because it's listed on there. My advice is to pull up that form, click on the link, look over the paperwork so you kind of familiarize yourself with where to find certain bits of information inside of there. Let's say here, cable out. Watch me play. Okay. I guess he said his cable went out or something. I don't know how guys have heard. That's the main thing, right? We're approaching these calls from a place of, I'm here to help. Did you get the information? Make sure you kind of go over that. Let me ask you a couple questions. And really, it's, where are you at in the buying process? Are you currently in the market to buy? Are you thinking about doing something soon? Kind of tell me a little bit about your situation, right? And people might try to blow you off or say we're busy and all that, and say, listen, I mean, that's why you listen to that training, because there's a lot of ways to handle blow offs. If people say, listen, I'm extremely busy. I got the information. I appreciate it. And say, absolutely. Listen, before I let you go, I mean, there's just one last thing. Let's take 2 seconds here. Listen, one of the things that we offer is our VIP Home Hunter service, which allows you to get, and then you just start talking about that back end stuff. If nothing else, gain as much information as you can. What are they looking for? Bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. How soon are they looking to move? Have they been pre-approved, etc.? Those are the things I'm looking for, so that even if we can't set the appointment, if they're just adamant about not coming in, that's okay. Because what we can do is we can take them, and now we know what to do with them beyond that point. So don't be so concerned about coming in and so put so much pressure on yourself to close every single call. Obviously, that's what we want to do. That's what we're really looking for. But at the same time, there's always that drop close into giving us some more information so we can get you set up so that we have the ability to know, hey, we can put these people in this particular campaign, we can put these here, or hey, these people are have given us info, which means that they're probably interested. If they're not pre-approved, we can put them into a campaign that reminds them of why they need to get pre-approved. I mean, I've got a lot of follow-up campaigns. I just need to know where to put these people and how to follow up with them and what they're looking for. Just keep that in mind as you make your calls.
Okay, the one question I had about your lender. I know you're gonna have the lender contact them, but what if they're interested in knowing who your preferred lender is, and if they want to contact them directly?
Well, just tell them to say, just say we have a rotation of qualified and reputable and competent lenders that work with us. So what I can't do here on the call is give you any. I mean, if they want an individual, if they say, well, just give me an individual's name. I mean, in that case, I guess I can post up a couple lenders inside of the group. As a matter of fact, I'll probably do that. I'll give you guys the info for a couple people. And,
okay.
And just really what you can do is just go back and forth and say either one. But if they say, well, what's the person's name, I can reach out to them. I'm going to say, well, we keep our qualified, reputable lenders on rotation. What I can't do, however, is I can have one of these people reach out to you specifically, and then if you're unavailable, they can leave you a voicemail, and you can certainly contact them at any point in time. But I have to just say, what we have to do is send this over to the service. You could just say the administrative department at Adam's office, and then from there they'll set everything up to make sure that these people get in contact with you. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, just divert the conversation if they really get into that. But I could give you some names and stuff. I mean, if you get caught up or whatever else, and they're just like demanding it, which I don't think will happen, because most of the time they're probably not going to be demanding that info. I mean, if you say, listen, I'll have someone follow up with you in a timely manner and make sure we get all the information to you. Because really, if they say, well, it's kind of like referral generation, right? People say, if you want to give a referral, if someone's like, yeah, I've got somebody, I'm going to have them reach out to you. Right? Or if somebody's like, yeah, I think I've got so-and-so Bob looking to buy a house, I'll give him a call and tell him to reach out. They say, absolutely, listen, I certainly appreciate that. Would you mind letting Bob know that I'd be giving, could you give me Bob's information and let him know that I'd be giving him a call? Right? Because if I leave it up to the buyers, in this instance, if we're talking about a lender, they say, well, just go ahead and give me the number, I'll give him a call, and say, absolutely, we'll certainly do that. And if you wouldn't mind, just to make sure that everyone's followed up with in a timely manner and that you get the information you need. Would you be offended if I went ahead and give him your contact info as well, in case he misses you, he can reach back out? Or if in case you get busy, they can reach out to you and kind of get the ball rolling at your convenience. Would you be offended if I went ahead and did that as well? Right. So because otherwise we just leave them we just leave them in a place of we're leaving it up to them. Chances are they'll never make the call, right?
Yeah.
So we want to get to. But I understand a good question, but I would definitely rather have that person, us reach out to them as opposed to them waiting and us saying, well, let's just wait and see if they reach out to us.
All right, it sounds good.
Hey, Adam, I'm sorry, I'm back, by the way. Stupid momentary. I put it on the Facebook. I had a momentary lapse of cable.
That's okay.
Two things. You're not affiliated with anyone, right? You're independent, so we don't say, like, if they ask, are you with Wykert or Remax, that's not you, right?
Yeah, no. You can tell that we're independently owned and operated
Okay.
locally. And if they ask that, I could just say that we've actually been in operation in Jefferson City since 1969, this particular company. So we've got a long-standing history here as well. If they ask you, you just say they're locally owned and operated, have been since 1969. So they're not a national franchise, which in a lot of cases means that you're going to get a more personal touch and experience. Right?
Yeah, but I know how to do that. We did that all the time. We knocked down the national companies. My question is though, so if they come to the office, they're not. The name of the office is what? What's the name of the office?
It's Gordon Real Estate.
Oh, Gordon. Okay, all right. That's what I thought. That's what I saw. So so call it Gordon. You're part of. Okay, so you're inside the Gordon Real Estate office. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't want them, if they come there and they're looking for the Adam Stock Home Buyer Advantage program, that's not on the sign, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Is Charleston near Jefferson City?
Charles.
Yeah.
I think that's like, isn't that towards the St. Louis area, I think?
I don't know. But you're thinking any 573 number is fine.
Yeah, 573. Yep.
Okay, I got it. Charleston, they're all over the place. Flat River, Frederickstown. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'll take Frederickstown. All right, I got my number.
Okay, cool. So I don't know if you guys specifically have any other questions. If you want to go through more role playing, I think the best way to role play these deals. If you have any questions about things that anyone might say, or anything that anyone, I know Mike haven't reached anybody, I guess, but anything that anyone either Mike said or have said, or any questions that you have, because Jared, you've got the emails now. Remember, guys, you set up that voice, that Google Voice. That probably make a difference. Mike, it'll be like making brand new calls. No one will see it coming. So the key in this stuff, remember, the easiest way I'm going to have to be able to track your guys' time, even if you don't, and again, this is all an integrity deal here, right? So even if you don't get the appointment, what I want to see is there can be a start time and finish time. So maybe what I need to do is send you guys a form of, hey, I'm starting my calls here at this time. What time did you start? What time did you just hit submit? Put your name and information on there. This is when I started. This was when I quit. And you can fill out as many as you want. And then, like say at the end of the month, we can calculate all that stuff up. I'll run it by you guys, make sure everything looks the way it should. And if everything looks fine, then we can take care of it that way. Do you guys have a PayPal account by chance?
Yeah. I don't, but I think I have an old one that I used to use, but I can set one up.
Okay, get those set up, because that may be the easiest way just to pay stuff out, is just to have a PayPal account. Otherwise, I can have my accountant cut checks and all that, but it would probably save me money and you guys time if we could just do it that way. So let me know about that. But so what I'm going to do is I'll set up that form today. I'm going to send it over to the group. It's important, and I know it's a little tedious, but it's important that you guys take this part seriously. Whenever you make a call, you start your call, open up one of those forms and say, okay, today's August 12th. I started at 10:30 a.m. and then leave that sit until you're done. If you called until 11:30, if you called until 12:30 or 1 o'clock, fine. Then go back to that form and say finished at 1 o'clock, submit. That way I know, okay, now I've got some time here for these people. Okay. At the same time, what you have to do in order for me to be able to back check some of this stuff is on those forms that we call people, even if you don't reach someone. So you say, all right, Jared Springer, it's August 12th, and it's this time. I'm making, and then you hit, go to the next page, and then if the people don't answer, you just put NA, 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 and then on the notes section, just did not answer to call back on this date. His cable must have gone out again. He just disappeared. But does that make sense what I'm talking about? So you'd fill out one form, and I could go through this on like an old private hangout with myself, share my screen, and walk you guys through, I guess, what I'm talking about. But one form would be, here's my start time. You don't come back and finish that form until you're done, and then you'd hit submit. On the other forms, you tell me, hey, I started, this was, I called this person at this time, this person at this time. Did you get an answer? Did, at the notes, if you just put NA on everything and then on the notes just say, no answer, then I'm going to know that, okay, this one just didn't answer. You may go back and you may fill out a new form for that person. But one, you guys can keep track of who you called. I can keep track of who we called, how many times we've called, what times we've called. So when you guys give me a time schedule and saying, hey, I called 3 times this week from, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., I can go through and I can back check that stuff inside of the forms to make sure that everything looks right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's pretty simple. I have to do the same thing with like my mileage and tracking. Basically, you just got to keep it in the back of your mind, always keep track of it. Otherwise, you get screwed at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's Mike. What I was telling him is it sounded like you may got cut off again. Are you back on here? I don't know. I see the picture, but there it goes again. So I'll just send detailed instructions on that. But if you don't have any questions, man, what I would suggest doing is taking a few moments, just doing some last-minute reviews on scripts and training, and just say, listen, I'm going to start calling at noon. I don't know what time it is where you're at, but right here it's 10:30, so keep that in mind, right?
I'm Central Time here, so.
Okay, cool. So I would just say, listen, I'm going to start calling around 11:30 if I were you, and I would try to call people until about 1 o'clock. It doesn't mean we just want to blow them up, but maybe what you want to do is go through each one of those 12 in that time period. I mean, if no one answers, you're going to go through 12 calls pretty quickly. Right? If you get a couple answers and everything and in between, I mean, then we know, hey, this is it may take a little bit longer. But just do that just plan 11:30 to say, however long it takes you today. You start catching people going on lunch and all that.
Okay.
And then just like I said, I'll get those forms to you here in just a couple minutes. As a matter of fact, while we're on this call. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
When I popped in, you were telling him something about don't leave voicemails for people. I just kind of caught a conversation.
Yeah, so when it comes to, I always say call people 6 to 8 times.
Okay.
Before we would leave a voicemail. And the reason for that is because if you tell people who you are, then they're like, I don't want to call this person back. I don't want to get caught up in having this conversation with this person right now. So it's going to be one of those things that I just wouldn't leave voicemails. It's just not I have scripts for voicemails, and I'll give those to you guys, but still 6 to 8 times before we would leave one.
Okay. Yeah, most people never call you back anyways. If you leave a voicemail, you'll never hear anything back. You got to keep calling.
Well, the problem is most people don't check their voicemails. I go months without checking mine. So, and that's like there was just a big article they posted in that in Stuman's group about how nobody's checking their voicemails anymore. Did you see that? It's a pretty interesting article.
Yeah, no, I think that is true, man. Well, I think and the reason why, man, is we get. I mean, for me, you hear my phone goes off, I get bombarded by text calls, voicemails, Facebook messages, emails. I mean, there's just fucking shit coming in from all different angles, and I think that people are just like. I think people nowadays are like so desensitized because of the amount of communication and the different ways that it's happening that I think people are like have a certain way that they like to communicate, and all the rest of them they're like, fuck it. I have to check my voicemails, unfortunately. I really can't get away from it. Otherwise, I'd probably miss business. But I don't pick up my phone very often, to be honest. And I know that some people have. If it's my clients and I'm not in the middle of something, I will. But for the most part, I just let it go to voicemail. I have certain times throughout the day I call back, unless we're negotiating an offer or there's something of importance. But I get so many calls that if I picked up every one that I had, I'd be caught up in meaningless conversations, 75% of the day. So I let things go to voicemail, I listen to it, and I determine, when they need to be called back, or do they even need to be called back, and I just handle it with a text from from there. But yeah, I mean, I rarely answer my phone, and I know it pisses agents off because I'm the guy that doesn't answer the phone. But man, but it's funny because they'll I have people who give me their opinions on that, other agents, you know, and they say, you're the hardest real estate agent to get a hold of. And I said, I do, you know, that's purposeful, right? It's not like I'm not working, but I don't have time to get caught up in a meaningless conversation with somebody when, you know, I've got schedules and you know, I stick to my schedule, and I usually don't, I'm pretty protective of my time, so I don't let people, you know, take advantage of it. But no, that makes sense. I don't doubt that article is probably 100% true. I mean, everyone expects you to get back to them right away, you know, texting and Facebook messages. I think it's fucking ridiculous. I wish we could go back. I love tech. I mean, I know you don't like it, Mike. I actually like technology, man, and the sense that it obviously helps us, you know, do things more effectively and efficiently in some cases. But at the same time, I think that it kind of has us where people feel like because it's communication is so easy between people, so simultaneous, that we have to respond right away. It's like, well, what happened to the times when there was just office desk phones and home, you know, landlines? If you didn't answer, you just had to leave a voicemail, and who knows when the hell somebody'd get back to you, you know? So nowadays, I think that it's ridiculous to assume that just because I've got a phone that you can text a message right over to me that I have to get back to you right away, you know? But
I like technology as well, but people I think get too caught up in their phones, especially like parents around here. Like when I'm out with my kids, half the time my phone's either in the car or at the house or something. Because all these people be with their kids, and then they're sitting there looking at Facebook constantly, and I'm just like, spend some time with your kids, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Listen, I'm just as guilty as anyone else. I have to consciously, like you said, leave it in the car, put it away. Otherwise, it's, you know, I'll be that guy. You know, when I'm out with kids and we're doing like date nights and stuff, I leave it away. My biggest challenge when I get home sometimes, we all just kind of lounging. You know, I'll pull the phone out of my laptop and I have to like catch myself. I'm like, what am I doing, man? Like I only get to see these people so many hours throughout the day. You know, what the fuck is going on? So I think it takes a conscious effort, and it's crazy, man, because it's true. You go out and you look around, and everyone, no matter where you go, is like face deep in their phone. It's a little, it's a catch-22 because, you know, I do a lot of business off Facebook, but honestly, I've almost grown resentful of it. You know, so hey, hold on one second, guys. Hey, Nikhil, how are you? I'm good. That's okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you've got a heck of a time with that phone. I don't know what's going on. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I usually get 1 or 2 rings, and then it goes right to your voicemail. Well, I didn't leave a voicemail this time. Oh. Huh. That's weird. Well, but you guys are still planning to be here, I guess, 11. Okay. Not a problem. Well, I'm ready to go, so I'll see you guys when you get here. We probably won't take more than, you know, 20, 30 minutes. This should be a pretty quick deal. Okay. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you guys here in about 30 minutes, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm filling out this form, guys. That form I told you about. So I'm going to share this screen over real quick so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. 1 second. So this will kind of be our start time, end time form. So it's just a timesheet allows me to go back and kind of check. And this way, you guys as well. I'm going to have this form settings, show text, send confirmation email to your email, reply to if you have any questions, reply to my email. So this is what it's going to be like, right? So if I save this form, just come back, say we're done. These will be our timesheet calls, so I'll post this in the group, but let's just say that you're getting ready to start your calls. Okay, so you go ahead and you pull this form up, and obviously the other forms that need to be pulled up every time before you make a call is going to be this form here. So again, I will share them both in the group, so if you haven't seen these yet, you can get a hold of them. I think this one is in the group, but so you're getting ready to make your call, right? So you say, okay, on the ISA. Date today is the 12th. Start time is, let's just assume it's 10:30. And again, here you can just put 00 a.m. And I say, okay. So I don't hit submit yet, right? Because I'm not done. So I get calling and I make my call. So on this one, again, I would come here and I say, okay. Oops. Come in here and we'll just say, probably need to put the date in here as well. That would probably help, wouldn't it? I'll make that edit so there'll be a date on here as well. But then here you say, okay, making my first call. It's 10:31 or whatever. All right, you go through next page. Now this is assuming in Mike's case, right, that we're calling John Doe. And nor John Doe nor anyone else. I'm just going to put my email. Otherwise, there probably is a John Doe at Gmail. We'll get an email from us. So he's filling in all the contact information from the lead form that we had. Again, this isn't required right here, so you can fill this out if you get some information. I'm not really concerned with buyer's address, but if it comes up in a conversation renting-wise, or if they own a home especially, I mean, that's really what I'm looking for more than anything else. But if they are a homeowner, chances are through our tax site I can find out where they live anyway, so don't spend too much time here. Now, assuming nobody answers, Mike, you filled out that information on the previous page, or Jared, right? Once I filled out the leads information on that form, then I'm hitting dial, right? Because that way I'm on this page and I'm ready to go. If they don't answer, then it's just a matter of NA. All right, no answer or not applicable, whatever you want to say. Let's just go to the next page. And then, did you set the appointment? No. Right? Did not. We'll call back. Right. And I tell you guys, I sent over in the message. I believe it may not be in the group, and if it's not, it's in the group message that we have. It was maybe I just sent that to you, Mike, and Jared separately. I can't remember, but there was a lead study done by MIT about making calls certain times of the day, certain days of the week. That's going to get higher response rates. My advice is to look at that. Matter of fact,
it was posted in the group because I read through it all. Yeah, it gives you the certain times of day, 5 to 6, and or like 4 to 6, and after lunch, and
okay,
tells you how many times to call and when to call. It's good information.
Okay, cool. So this here, then I would hit submit, right? And that goes there and say, okay, great, thanks for filling out the form. My phone goes off because now I know that I've got somebody has actually filled out the form. But then on here, let's say you go, okay, I'm done with my calls for the day. You come back here and you say, I'm done making calls. That one took me till 10:35 a.m. And then we would hit submit, right, on there. So that way we know that now you've submitted that, and I've got both forms, so I can always go back, like I said, end of the month, time check, cross-reference all this stuff and make sure that it's on there. So on this one, I'm going to edit the form, and I'm going to put... Let's put the date on here as well. Where the hell did that date go? Okay. So here's your timesheet calls, your timesheet form. Then we'll have the form for the what we call the leads. So you guys will have these links. You can always come in here and pull those up before you make calls. Cool, guys. Okay. So as far as today goes, any last questions, man, before we hop off here?
Not for me, no.
Nope, not for me. I filled out the form quick that you sent me in the messenger while you were talking on the phone, and I emailed it to myself, so that way I got the MLS sheet and everything for my property. So
Okay.
I'm good.
So the only thing to do is set up the Google Voice. I know, Mike, you've already done that, so start making your calls off that. So make sure you fill in timesheets, fill out the forms, the other lead buyer forms, whether we make contact or not. I want to have those forms so it helps me cross-reference everything and make sure that we're all on the same page there. And if you have any questions, Mike, you've been real good about reaching out. I know, Jared, you didn't think you were getting any leads, so that's probably why you haven't. But if you have questions while you're making these calls, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if you have an objection that you weren't able to get over or weren't quite sure what to say in a certain instance, if you don't know what to say, feel free to say, I'm not 100%, but let me get that information for you, and we'll make sure we get you the right answer.
Adam,
Right.
this is the same pre-qualification you already posted, right? It's not new, is it? Okay.
Yeah, same one. I couldn't remember if I posted it there or sent it in a message, so I just went ahead and threw it back.
And you want us to just, because I crapped out again for a couple of minutes, but you want us, even if we call and we don't get through, just to push it through and say no answer or whatever, and then just every time we call, okay.
Yeah, because that way I know, hey, who we call, who we're not getting a hold of. This way I know, like, hey, Mike called John Doe 6 times, no answers, and then the last one you say I left a voicemail, and that's fine, right? But we've ran the lead through the process of calling. We're still going to put them into our automated campaigns that I've built out as far as email and stuff goes. But I want to know that, how often have we called? This helps me keep track of conversion rates as well. How many times are we having to call before we're getting responses, etc. So yeah, definitely fill those things out. It's got a lot of purposes of doing that, even though it's a little tedious.
That's fine.
Yeah, it'll help with tracking purposes and everything else. So.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, let's see if we can't turn some of these over today.
You got it. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you much.
Later, fellas.
Bye.
Bye.